There's absolutely no denying the fact that the Golden State Warriors have one of the best young players in the NBA. Picked 7th overall, Kuminga is a raw 6'7" with defensive instincts that make him look like the second coming of Scottie Pippen. Playing in his 3rd season now, the question remains, how good is he? We'll unravel all that in this video. Jonathan Kuminga isn't on the quest to prove that he is a valuable player for the Warriors. He already has proven that since being drafted. Last season, in place of the absent Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga averaged a fairly solid 24.2 minutes the final 21 games, helping the Golden State Warriors to the 6th seed. His counting stats were good, and his offensive and defensive numbers were equally impressive. He took this fine form into the 2023-2024 season and has had fans and teammates praising his performances. And if you ask me, he is quickly becoming Andrew Wiggins' replacement with the way Wiggins has been playing. Okay, we might be going too fast. Let's rewind to where it all began for Kuminga. He started playing basketball in the Democratic Republic of the Congo at age 2. Yeah. And at the age of 14 in 2016, he made the bold move to the US to play high school basketball, setting the stage for what would become a remarkable journey. His freshman year was at Huntington Prep School in West Virginia. His sophomore season was at Our Savior New American School in New York, where he averaged 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Oh, and he dropped 40 points in a single game back in 2019, setting a record at the Slam Dunk to the Beach Showcase. By the time he was a high school sophomore, Kuminga was already touted as one of the best recruits in the 2021 class. He was considered the 3rd best player in his class by Rivals.com and the 4th best by ESPN. And guess what? He lived up to the hype. In a surprising move, he reclassified to the 2020 class and decided to skip college basketball to join the NBA G League Ignite. And on the 15th of July 2020, Kuminga signed a 1-year contract with the team, showing that he was ready to take on the pros. But he didn't feature until February 2021, where he notched 19 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. Not a bad debut if you ask me. And if people hadn't started noticing Jonathan Kuminga, they were soon slowly seeing his potential as this guy was making waves in the G League, averaging 15.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game, and it wouldn't take long for him to be drafted. The Golden State Warriors, with the 7th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, made a move that would bring Kuminga to the Bay Area, and on the 3rd of August 2021, he officially signed with the Warriors, marking the beginnings of his NBA journey. Kuminga's NBA debut in late October was modest but noteworthy. 3 points and a steal in a win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. However, it was on the 18th of December, in his first career start, that he really turned heads, dropping a then career-high 26 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors. And just when you thought things couldn't get more exciting, Kuminga found himself participating in the Rising Stars Challenge game during the 2022 NBA All-Star Game weekend. That's some serious recognition for a rookie, and he was doing it in style, filling in for the injured Chris Duarte. But here's the pinnacle of his rookie season. Kuminga helped the Warriors secure the 2022 NBA championship. At just 19 years old and 253 days, he became the 2nd youngest NBA champion, right behind Darko Milicic. That's not just a feather in his cap, that's a whole peacock display. The stats speak for themselves. Kuminga is on the cusp of greatness. He's one of the talents that you couldn't help but acknowledge how good he is. Coach Kerr couldn't help but be impressed, even drawing comparisons between Kuminga and a young Kawhi Leonard. In his sophomore year in the NBA, the expectations were through the roof. With 67 games under his belt, which was just 3 matches shy of his first season appearances, he started 16 of the 67 games with a minutes per game of 20.8. His numbers saw an uptick, averaging 10 points on 52% shooting from the field and a super solid 37% from beyond the arc, showcasing a diverse offensive skill, especially that favorite spot down the middle. It's like a guaranteed scoring zone, and Coach Kerr has noticed. Kerr pointed out the challenges that come with being a young, talented player in the NBA. It's not just about physical abilities. It's about navigating the chaos of a fast-paced game with athletes flying around. The dribbling, passing, and shooting, it's a technical ball game, and Kuminga was finding his rhythm. Now, let's talk defense. Kuminga is not just an offensive threat. He's becoming a defensive force to be reckoned with. Facing off against some of the league's top offensive talents, he held his own, and his defense is becoming a major weapon. Here's how some top offensive threats fared against Kuminga in the 2022-23 season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot only 13 of 29, Luka Doncic 7 of 17, Brandon Ingram 7 of 17, CJ McCollum 4 of 16, Anthony Edwards 3 of 13, and Desmond Bane just 2 of 12. Yeah, that's top-tier ability. Kuminga had these stars in a maximum security prison. And let's not forget about Kuminga's rim protection skills either. The guy is contesting shots from all angles, turning potential layups into fast break opportunities. But during the playoffs that season, things got a bit murky. In the post-All-Star break stretch, Kuminga was shining, averaging over 20 minutes per game with impressive shooting percentages. Yet, come playoff time, he found himself benched with only 6.1 minutes per game over 10 playoff appearances. What happened there? Well, the return of Andrew Wiggins and Gary Payton Jr. to the lineup created a natural hole in the depth chart, squeezing Kuminga out. It was a tough pill to swallow for a young player who had been a significant contributor. Kuminga voiced his frustration, expressing how tough it is to adapt to sudden changes in playing time. Coach Kerr, while emphasizing that Kuminga's reduced role wasn't a lack of faith in his future, highlighted a key area for improvement: rebounding. With only 0.9 boards per game in the playoffs, Kerr made it clear that if Kuminga wants to be a great player, he's got to crash the boards. Now, into Kuminga's crucial third season, the spotlight is on. Everyone was eager to see if Kuminga could live up to the hype. The past offseason was promising for Kuminga. Scoring 60 points in a Pro-Am game is no small feat. But the big question was, what's next? Can Kuminga become a major piece in Golden State's presence and future, or will he follow the path of players like Wiseman and Poole, struggling to gain the full trust of a championship-hungry organization? Well, it seems that Kuminga has already answered that, as he's already proven he can contribute, but now it's about leveling up. Can he get Coach Kerr to trust him ahead of the vets? Can he remain focused and energized on nights when his usage is scaled back? Come playoff time, is Kuminga a must-play ascending wing, or does he still face demotion when the stakes rise? Kerr, of course, acknowledges that Kuminga has the potential to be an elite offensive rebounder, granting him the freedom to crash for any and every offensive board. But with great freedom comes great responsibility. Kuminga needs to find the right balance, recognizing when to crash the boards and when to run back. The comparison to Wiggins, who transformed into one of the NBA's best offensive rebounders, is there, and Kuminga's newfound freedom is a sign of increased trust from the coaching staff, an opportunity to erase hesitancy from his approach. In the preseason, Kuminga was on fire, exploding for 24, 26, and 28 points in 3 games, the highest total in the league. But as Kerr rightly points out, the preseason pecking order isn't the regular season pecking order. When Kuminga shares the floor with Curry, Thompson, and Wiggins, he needs to know when to throttle back. Kuminga certainly improved looking at his stats this season. In 39 games at the time of recording this video, he has an improved minutes per game of 23.1, better than last season, averaging 13.6 points, also better than last season. Now let's get back to a recent game against the Milwaukee Bucks, where Kuminga put up a dazzling performance despite the team's loss. Ending the game with 28 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block is no small feat. Shooting 55.6% from the field and a staggering 66.7% from beyond the arc puts him in an elite category. Only Giannis Antetokounmpo outscored him in that game, and we're talking about a Finals MVP. Kuminga has now recorded at least 20 points in multiple games already this season, marking a big shift in his confidence. He had 24 points on 9 for 12 shooting against the Bulls, 28 points on 10 for 18 shooting against the Bucks, and 20 points on 9 for 18 shooting against the Grizzlies. He also scored in double figures in 20 straight games. It's no wonder that even Klay Thompson and company believes in Kuminga's potential to become an NBA star. High praise from someone who knows a thing or two about what it takes to shine in this league, but, and there's always a but, we can't ignore the disappearing act in the postseason. After a regular season that had us all on the Kuminga bandwagon, his presence seemed to fade away when the stakes were higher. Now, this could be attributed to various factors. It could be due to the intensity of playoff basketball, lack of experience, or perhaps just a rookie finding his footing in the grand NBA stage, and that's why he was benched often. In fact, He has only started 3 playoff games in his 2 seasons with the Warriors. But this season, Kuminga would have a point to prove that he's not just a regular season player, but can also take responsibilities when the bigger games come calling. Let's not forget the context here. Jonathan Kuminga is a raw talent, and with raw talents come unpredictability. His journey is still in its early chapters, and it's far from complete. The postseason hiccup might just be a plot, a learning curve for a player destined for greatness. With Draymond Green back from suspension, Kuminga will likely continue to come off the bench. However, if he continues making a similar impact to that against the Bucks and the Bulls, the role could be exactly what the Warriors need from him for the rest of the season. It's safe to say that Jonathan Kuminga is figuring out how to play in one of the best offenses in the league, and that answer was to slash towards the basket and good things will happen. He has the athletic skills to be a star, and it's just a matter of time. Drop your opinions on Kuminga. Future star, or is he just a project? Hey, might he even become the piece the Warriors dumped Draymond for? Let us know.